Good morning. How is everyone? It's Deb LaFlamme from For the Love of Your Biz, and I promised my loyal following that I would spend more time over here on the public page, and so that is what I'm doing. Coming on this morning to talk about some of the systems that you may or may not have in place for social media, and some things that maybe you haven't thought about that maybe I can help you with, or give you an idea of how to do it better. And I'm actually preparing I'm going to be doing a live stream in a private group, not my private group, but one of my peers has invited me to talk about social media planning. Specifically when you're on vacation, how you can make sure that your social media is active and that your page is being seen even if you're away. So I wanted to share a little bit about what I've been preparing. I've got my agenda here and share with you a little bit about what I'm preparing for that talk that I'll be doing today at noon, and offer you a little bit of it as well, because I feel like there's so many of us that are trying to figure it all out. Many of you who follow me are small business owners and are doing a lot of this on your own. So I wanted to come on and just share what I'm doing in the 12 o'clock today stream over in another group so that you too get the value. So if you're just hopping on, it's Deb LaFlamme from For the Love of Your Biz, here on my public business page, which, as I promised, I would do more often. Good morning, KP. How is the weather in Colorado today? We are at like 10 minutes of 10. We're like, I think, mid-60s. It's gorgeous. I actually have my window open. Just came back from a long walk with the dog. Actually, let's see. He is here. He's like right there sleeping. So, but okay, so I am coming on. I'm just going to open the window a little bit. You can hear the birds. I'm coming on because it's chilly, sunny, and bright. I know, I feel like when the sun is shining, it really doesn't matter, right? So even if it's chilly, who cares? But okay, so I'm here because I made a promise to my fans and followers that the ones that I felt like I had neglected because they're not over in the private group. That's okay. I wanted to share with you what I'm preparing for a live stream that I'm doing this afternoon. Pretty much the topic is social media planning. But what I'm also going to share with them is not just about having the plan, but posting with purpose. Because we so often just put content out because we want to be seen. But it goes back to quality over quantity. And I know oftentimes people think, I have to post 3 times a day. I have to make sure I'm being seen. But as someone who is online a lot, I'd want to see more quality. So if you're putting crap out, if you're just posting to post, you're going to get unfollowed pretty quickly. Or people are going to, find someone else who's going to offer more value. So number 1 is make sure you're posting with purpose. You have a strategic plan in place to reach the right people. Another piece that I feel people get hung up on is the numbers. People really worry about how many followers they have, and I could care less. And I would recommend that you too care less about the numbers and pay more attention to engagement. So let's use an even 100. Let's say you have 100 fans on your business page. Let's try and get those 100 people to engage with you, to participate in the conversation, to like and comment and share on things that you're putting out on the interwebs, in your social media. So again, we're talking a little bit about strategy, but we're talking about planning and posting with a purpose. I want to give you these tips so that you can market your businesses better using social media and internet marketing. So if you're just hopping on, let me know that you're here. It's Deb LaFlamme from For Love of Your Biz. And the first and foremost is don't worry about the numbers. Don't worry about your fans and follower numbers. You don't need to have 1,000 fans if you're an online business I feel like people get hung up in how much they need when, the reality is if, I'm a small business coach, I could not take care of 1,000 people who need my coaching. I wouldn't be able to do it. There just isn't enough time in the day or time in the week or time in the month. So, I need 5 people who want to work with me. Let's just use that as the simple number. So what are we using social media for? We're using social media to tell your story, right? Your business story, your brand story, your product story. So don't forget that. Remember that. Remember that you're using it to tell your story. You're using it to maybe share your products, show your products, tell the story behind your products. You're using social media to share about your services, what your business offers, what you offer, right? If you're a coach, if you're someone who is selling themselves, you want to make sure that you're telling your story. And you want to use social media to, excuse me, I'm getting lost you for a second, sorry. You use social media to talk to your customers, right? People forget that. Oftentimes people are posting just to post, just like I said earlier in the stream. And you want to use social media to talk with your customers, whether they're past customers, they're current customers, or future customers. This is how you're going to market yourself online, is by telling people about you and about your services. So, don't forget that social media is a two-way street. And what I mean is, if you're just putting content out to put content out, and you're not asking for engagement, you're not asking for reactions or comments or likes, or even you're not telling your fans and followers what you want them to do with your information, it's going to be one-sided conversation. And who wants to have a one-sided conversation? You want to talk to people. You want to engage with people. And I know firsthand that when people talk back, when they engage, when they comment, when they like, when they message me, when they share my content, that's a win. That's what I live for. And that is what my business is built on. And that reminds me to do it even more, to look back and evaluate what I had done and how it's working. And I thought I poured myself a water. I don't see it. But that's why you put that content out, and that's why you ask for engagement. So really just wanted to talk about that, wanted to share that, remind you that it's not about the numbers. Your goals should be engaging with people, connecting with people, telling people your story. And of course, depending upon where your clients are, where your customers are, that's where you should be focusing your energy. Spend your energy where your customers are. Of course, I spend most of my energy, my business energy on Facebook, because that's where most of my business comes from, either from clients or from my private group. So that's where I spend my energy. So a couple other things that I'll share with you before I go, that I'm preparing for the talk this afternoon, but you got to keep things simple, not complex. If it's hard for you to put out into the universe, it's going to be even more complicated for your fans and followers to absorb. So keep things simple. Of course, stay true to your business. Stay true to your voice. I think I've said this before, but mostly the number one reason why I do video blogs or live video is because I feel like I can get my message across more easily by talking rather than writing. And oftentimes when I write, people say that they can hear me speaking. So I tend to write the way I talk. So why not just talk? And you can hear my voice. You can hear what I offer. So I do what's well for me. I do what works for me. And that goes with my strategy as well as my planning. I curate content in a way that works for me. It may not work for everybody, but I have to stay true to myself and to my business and to my brand. And it seems to be working really well. And so I'm not going to change it, right? I might come up with new systems to help with the process, but I'm not going to change the process too drastically. Other things to think about is consistency. If you think your customers and fans don't look at when the last time was you posted, you're wrong. So you've got to be there. You got to stay in the heads of the customers so that when they're looking for you, they can find you. And does that mean 4 times a day? Not for every brand. You got to evaluate what works best for your customers. If it's once a day, great. If it's mostly on the weekend because that's your demographic, then make sure you're there on the weekend. If it's evening because your demographic is sitting on the couch watching TV after their kids went to bed and they're on their iPad or their smartphone and they're scrolling through the news feed, then be there in the evening. So figure out when your fans are online, use your insights, and be there when they need you. Be there when they're looking for you. That's really it. I'm not going to get too in depth into tools or content calendars. I could do that another time, but I just wanted to share with you some things about planning for social media as far as posting with a purpose and talking to that one person. You really only need to connect with the one person and get into their heads, and stay true to your brand, stay true to your voice. I think that you'll find that if you do that, you will certainly increase your following. You'll make sure that you're connecting with your customer because you know your voice better than anybody, right? So thanks for being here with me today. As I promised, I wasn't going to ignore you guys any longer. I just wanted to share a little bit of insight on social media, posting with a purpose, having a plan, getting started, staying consistent. And of course, there's so much more I can talk about. And I will talk about it again. I'll come on probably next week and I'll talk again about maybe coming up with your content calendar or maybe a tool to get things scheduled. So we'll think about that. Let me know in the comments below what you'd like to hear. But thanks for being here. Have an awesome day. It's gorgeous here in Mass, and I know I'm going to enjoy it. So have a great day.